must remain intact, brothers and sisters. The Prime Minister have a right to call election. Let me tell you something. The Constitution gives you right, but you mustn't be a nuisance with the right. You mustn't be a foolish man with the right. You mustn't be a wicked person with the right. You have to administer the right for every citizen. And what Scarrett has done, what he has done is to declare war on democracy in Dominica. What he has done is to divide Dominicans, labor against the rest. Well, brothers and sisters, we are about unity. We want freedomites, youthalites, laborites. All of us Tutmun to come together for the sake of Dominica. And when you're called to come out, because those of us who are in the struggle can decide, you know something, say sayole, kite yo bat mi sayo. But we say no way, no way. And you must stand up with us so we can show this guy that enough is enough. When he come like a thief in the night, Sunday night, when you were relaxing, you were at church, you pray, you sing, you came home and you relax with the family. The thief in the night called general election. What is he afraid of? And we said to him, electoral reform, we want and we must get electoral reform. Jump high, jump low, Dominica must get electoral reform. And whether they get nominated tomorrow, the movement continue. We are not stopping this movement. This movement is to clean nonsense. And that's what we're about, brothers and sisters.
It behoves us as a responsible public sector union to question why there will be a rush to hold general election prior to the Electoral Commission undertaking the electoral reform as outlined in Sir Byron's letter. According to the CCJ's report, I quote, the electorates are central to legitimate and lawful elections, unquote. The DPSU fully concurs with that statement. Consequently, the union believes that there is no excuse not to sanitize the voters list in keeping with existing legislation, as well as to provide citizens voter ID cards. The DPSU is of the view that no election should be held in Dominica prior to electoral reform. I repeat, the Dominica Public Service Union says that it is of the view that no election should be held in Dominica prior to electoral reform. The DPSU issues this caution in the wake of celebrating our independence under the theme, One Dominica, One People, One Vision. As this situation risks further dividing us as we face social, economic, and environmental challenges as a small island developing state. The union wish again to reference the CCJ's report and to quote accordingly section 77 of the said report. And I quote, moreover, without such free and fair elections, the preambular value of the creation and maintenance of and respect for lawful constituted authority would be fatally undermined. The consequences of such a denial that a reflection on Caribbean history demonstrates include loss of legitimacy, public unrest, and even revolt. In contemporary terms, free and fair elections are so fundamental to the democratic way of life that without it, the very legitimacy and sovereignty of the constitutional state is brought into question. Constituted as it is by the people of Dominica.
This man is going to have this country as a dictator, and he's going to rule in this country as a dictator, and there is nothing you can do about it. Because why? He has the police force in his hands, and he believes that Dominicans are cowards. I do not want you all to be cowards. Scary does not run things in Dominica, and I want him to know that. Spirit, you do not run things in Dominica. Last night or whenever he was in Colio, he's telling the opposition parties to whoever doesn't nominate to pull. Well, Spirit, to pull. You don't run things in Dominica.
We, the CCM, we are concerned about the present crisis in Dominica. And we are not about violence and about war, but we are about peace. Just like I said to the chief of police 2 days ago, we are the Martin Luther King. And how long? Not long. And we will continue to knock the doors, calling on Charles Savary and the chief of police to intervene and to adhere to a request that there will be no reform, no election. And they better hear us. The last time when I went by the president, however, I was confronted with police at gunpoint. But I knelt down and I said that I am ready. I want the world to know that I will take my bullets like a big man for Dominica, and that the people of Dominica will be liberated. And I am still here in 2022, ladies and gentlemen, in that predicament, in that saga. So guess what? I am more emboldened to stand for you. I will fight for you, the people of Dominica. And I am prepared for anything in that battle. How long? How long? Be bold, be brave, be courageous. If God before you, scare it, and his dirty tricks won't be against you. We will overcome.
Scarrett has bestowed unto himself the right and the privilege to usurp the authority of the Electoral Commission to conduct fraudulent elections with impunity. Scarrett has bestowed unto himself the privilege of issuing electronic passports to foreigners with the option to vote in contravention of the electoral laws and the established procedures and protocols for voting in Dominica. Yet we see hundreds of persons engaged in the putting up of posters on lampposts. Questions. Our young people in the 20-30 years age group so bewitched that they are unable to understand the disaster that has befallen the country. In an untimely election, where three of the established opposition parties have declared that they will not participate in a fraudulent election, where the associate components have been pre-programmed before the announcement was made. The indecent rush into a premature election is driven by a prearranged automatic apparatus programmed to allow the incumbent government to assume or retain power through bribery and other fraudulent leads. In a country as resourceful as the United States, the president is held accountable for violation of constitution. In a poverty-stricken country of Dominica, the prime minister is involved in transactions that incross violation of the constitution and the Finance Administration Act number 4 of 1944. What we would say, ladies and gentlemen, in summary, is that we are heading really into a dictatorship. If we allow what seems to be about to happen in terms of the one-party state, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be in serious trouble.
Nous là pour une seule cause, nous pas pour des causes. Nous là pour une seule cause, et cause là c'est Scarrett qui a volé l'élection en Dominique. Scarrett qui a volé l'élection en Dominique. Là Mobanizo, Mogari Janye. Là Mobanizo, Mogari Janye. Scarrett qui a Yo pa ke gade ko sa.
We coming forward. 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 Forward we go. Yes, sir. No reform. No reform. We coming forward. We coming forward. We coming forward. We coming forward. No reform. No reform. No reform. Let's go.
I love the crowd tonight, but you too calm. I love the crowd tonight that you're sending a message, but we are taking everything for a joke. Brothers and sisters, I am not about that talking anymore. We, United Workers Party, the opposition, everybody have been talking since 2009. Nuka Pale Twop. And that is why we should take out that parrot on our flag. Now is the time for action. 1979 must be revisited. Why? What is happening to us right now didn't happen in 1979. Our parents couldn't read and write, but they took action. And we are sitting there and we are laughing and clapping like it's a joke. Brothers and sisters, the CCJ warned us about the tainted list. The election observers told us in 2019, the election reflected the will of the people. You know what that means? The people get a government that they deserve. We let Scary do what he wants, and he took all this, he purchased all this he wanted. Now Scary remove all these big men and take a kindergarten party to run us. Scary has never beat me. I beat Scary in 2009. I beat Scary in 2010 for the by-election. I beat Scary in 2014. I beat Scary in 2019. And in 2022, my seat is going to beat Scary. Brothers and sisters, what is happening in Dominica is not a joke. I was alerted today that two political scientists at UE wrote articles in the Nation newspaper in Barbados. One is Christina Hines and the other is Denison Joseph. And they all are lamenting what's going in Dominica. It's craziness, it's madness. Undermining of our democracy, and we in Dominica sit down and take it for a joke. Brothers and sisters, I am not here for long. I am just telling you tomorrow there should be no nomination. On the 6th there should be no election. What are you going to do to stop the election? We have to stop Roosevelt's carried by any means necessary.
In this ROSEAU declaration, dated 17th November 2022, that we will exercise our rights without provocation or harassment, our constitutional and God-given right to freely assemble anywhere we desire within the Commonwealth of Dominica without provocation and harassment by the RSS, DPF, or any tin pot dictator. We further declare that we will relentlessly protest in and around every corner of this our blessed land until we achieve our goal of free and fair elections, to include cleansing of the voter register and issuing of voter ID cards as phase 1 of the free $250,000 Dennis Byron electoral reform assignment, which was single-handedly ordered 3 long years ago by Prime Minister Skerrit and was delivered to him by Sir Dennis Byron on the 6th of November 2022, the very day that Roosevelt Skerrit hurriedly and deceptively announced fresh elections.
And so, we the patriots of this land will not retreat nor surrender our rights to any dictator, nor will we deviate from our noble goal of free and fair election with a clean voter list and voter ID cards. In the People's Liberation Movement, there is no retreat and no surrender.
We will not allow it. We don't know what we're feeling. You understand me? It will have come back inside. With full support of no reform, no election. Full support. The game has to be played on a level playing field. It's that simple. It's not about your game or their game and this one against that one. We the people that feeling the strain. So we say no reform, no election, and we're not asking you for reform no more. We're going to take reform for ourselves.
Well, we know this stance already, but what I have to tell Mr. Scarrett is, we know you're strong. You're strong. Give us reform. We're not going to tell you no reform, no election, you know. We know you're strong. So just give us reform, brother. You run things, give us reform. That is all we need. All we're asking for, brother, a clean playing field. You talk about peace, well, we'll be there on Saturday. We have to see if you're really about peace. I'm inviting all my people for us to come out on Saturday and join the work, for us to bring the unity with all Dominicans. Some of us might not like it, but we have to show them that we cannot be afraid of them. We have to bring the peace and unity within all of us if we want change in this country, my people. We need to come together as one Dominican. Because if that gentleman is strong, he's supposed to accept us being around him. He's supposed to accept giving us reform because we have been asking for it for too long. My people, we need reform. If the gentleman is strong, we need reform, my people.
In this fight, my friends, it is not just a fight for electoral reform. It is a fight for the soul of our country. It is a fight to define what kind of country will we be. It is a fight to determine will we allow the degradation of our democracy and more importantly our culture to continue. So today is not the end of anything. Today is the beginning of something. Today is when the good guys stand up and say we will define our future. It is us who will grab the definition of our culture. It is us who will decide what kind of country our children inherit. And for too long, we have allowed the Labour Party and Roosevelt Scarrett in particular to determine for us what kind of people we can be. And this stops today. So this election is not a moment of mourning. It is a moment of celebration, because December 6th is not a day just of boycott. It is not just a day of mourning. It is a day of liberation. Legitimacy of a government is based on the true expression of the will, the values and purposes of a people. And you can never have a government reflect the true will, the values, the ideas of a people if you subvert the process of selecting those leaders. So the process is flawed, it is distorted, it is grotesque beyond belief. So what it will produce is not good products. No flawed tree, no dysfunctional tree produces good fruit. With a flawed process, you produce this grotesque and distorted behavior and values. And that is why this government is illegitimate. It does not reflect the will, the values, the purposes of the Dominican people. And it is illegitimate, and we will continue to say it is an illegitimate government which has to be replaced.
This is the kind of prime minister I have in this country who doesn't care about people. All he cares about is money and making himself and his people rich while we remain poor. And we are telling you, enough is enough. We are going to stand for Dominica. We are going to fight the good fight, until we win, until we take this nation from the morass it is in and stand up for your children, stand up for Dominica. Do not let your children tell you that they need reparation because you did not stand for them. I am standing. All our people here are standing. Our parliamentarians country. So we are saying we want a clean list, we want electoral reform, and we want